a couple of others who are going to join. Good evening, everybody. It is 7:32 on September 4th, 2024, and we are calling the September meeting of the Norwalk Fair Rent Commission to order. And I'm going to share my screen with the agenda. Give me just a minute. So all the order has happened, and we'll start with the approval of the minutes of the August meeting. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes? Okay. Is there any comment or any changes requested for page 1? Any changes on page 2?
Sorry, for page 1, I just have a question. Is
Yeah.
Ava Vivian, is that supposed to be one name or is it supposed to be a space in between?
Carlos, is that correct?
Out of Vivian, it should be 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Any comments on page 2? Any comments on page 3? Okay, then I will take a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the August 7th meeting.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Second from Lenise Constant, motion from Sonia Oliver. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Sonia, I didn't hear you're in favor.
Aye.
Fran, can you hear us? You're on mute. You're still on mute.
I abstain.
All right. Motion passes with 2 in favor, 1 abstention. We'll go to the chair's report. And I'm going to just keep it short and simple. Thank you all for joining. Nothing significant to report. I hope that everybody had a great summer. And now we dive back into fall and hope your fall goes well also. Turn it over to Carlos for the coordinator's report.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. So for the coordinator's report, I was out a week, so I'm still catching up on emails and voicemails. There seems to be a lot going on in the landlord and tenant world. A few more evictions and a few more rent increases. I've noticed that there's a trend recently where landlords they're so used to charging a flat rate for late fees. And this changed last year where landlords are now required to charge the smaller of 5% of the rental fee, or a maximum of $50. And I've noticed that I've seen $75, $100. So every time a tenant brings a lease, I make sure that I try to catch that and I let the landlords know, by the way, this is the new language. You should be incorporating this into your lease. You're not supposed to be charging any more than $50 for late fees per month. I also noticed that there's a lot of different questions with regards to security deposits. I've been instructing tenants to request the security deposits via a letter that I provide to them and to keep receipts of everything. A lot of them pay cash. They don't ask for a receipt when they move in. And I tell them, well, it's going to be hard for you to prove if you've got a small claim score that you actually pay your security deposit. So make sure that you keep receipts when you pay a security deposit. I provide them with a template of a letter to submit to the landlords in order for them to submit to request a security deposit. And once the time passes of 20 days, which used to be 30 days, I'll give them instructions on how to go to small claim score to pursue legal action. Upcoming next month in October, we have the Norwalk Housing Authority will be hosting their landlord seminar, if you want to call it, where landlords who are Section 8, who accept Section 8 voucher holders will be instructed on their rights and responsibilities. So I will partake in that along with the fair housing officer and the staff from the Norwalk Housing Authority on what they can do and what they cannot do. That's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Carlos. We'll move on to the review, discussion, and motions on open cases. Excuse me for scrolling. And I'll turn it over to Attorney Russell Liskoff.
No problem. Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone had a good summer also. August is kind of a frustrating month because you call people and you write them letters and a lot of people are away on vacation. So we did our best. We got a couple that we can take care of, but as far as the first one goes, 1831-23, 8 Union Avenue, apartment B3, the landlord wanted to raise the rent from $950 a month to $1,500 a month. This is the one that we started a trial on. The matter is going to be continued until January. We're still trying to figure out what's going to happen, but there's ongoing negotiations. The representative of the the tenant, he was out of state for about the whole month. That's her cousin, he's an attorney from New York, and he's helping to negotiate a resolution of the matter. So I made a bunch of telephone calls, but he was out. He just returned yesterday. He was cleaning up a lot of messes from his office he had to clean up. So I'll probably get a hold of him in the next week or so. So right now, I'd ask you to take no action. The worst comes to worst, we will be hearing this matter in January. But gosh, I hope that, and this says hearing postponed until January 2024, should it postpone until January 2025? So Carlos, if you correct that, that would be good. So I'd ask you to take no action on this, and hopefully we won't have to see these people at all for a hearing.
I make a motion for no action.
That's Sonia Oliver with the motion.
I second the motion.
Fran Collier Clemens with the second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? No action.
The next one is 1839-23, 6 Elm Street, first floor. The landlord wants to increase the rent from $1,000 to $1,900 a month. Allegedly, there has been a lease back and forth on this matter. We were calling both the tenant and the attorney. The attorney told me that he had sent us the lease already, and I sent him a correspondence today. We had emails today. Said, hey, I haven't gotten anything. The commission is going to be very unhappy. Why don't we have the lease? Carlos was able to contact the tenant today. The tenant got the lease and she's happy with it, except for 2 clauses in it. So I have to go back to the landlord now to amend 2 clauses in the lease, and that should get done this month. So I ask you to take no action. And God, I want this one to go away so bad. We put a lot of time into this one. So I think we'll ask you to vote to take no action this month, and I will be pushing Attorney Gottlieb. we contacted him a lot of times. I was in the office a lot with Carlos. Carlos sent him a lot of emails. I was on the phone with him several times. And even today, he said, "Oh, I thought you guys had that lease." I'm like, "No, we don't. Let's finish this off." So I'd ask you to take no action.
I'll
I
make the
move no
motion for no
action on
action.
1839-23.
I'm gonna give it to Fran just because she spelled out the whole thing.
I'll second it.
Second from Sonia. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, everybody was in favor. No abstentions either. All right, no action.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next matter is 1848-2444 Plymouth Court. Unit 1, the landlord wants to increase the rent from $1,700 a month to $2,200 a month. We had the hearing on it. I believe the decision was signed today and emailed to the landlord. So I don't know I don't know, it's not like this, if I vote to take no action, it's just that this case has been ruled upon. So it's kind of moot at this point. So I don't know what action there is to take after you've made the decision. I probably should remove this from our agenda now, since the case has
I think
been.
you can close the case. Or you can leave it open if you want to make sure there's like a appeal period or
They
something,
do
right?
have, they do have an appeal period. So why don't we take no action until next month, and then next month I'll ask, if there's no appeal, I'll ask we remove it from our agenda.
Yeah.
So
I'll make
ask
a
you to take
motion
no
for
action.
no action.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna abstain. Any opposed? No, I abstain. And, okay, no action on this one.
The next matter is 1849-24 12 Narrow Avenue, Unit B. Landlord wants to increase the rent from $3,200 to $3,800 a month. This is the on again, off again eviction case. We were going to maybe dismiss it this month, but the landlord withdrew the eviction action. And the tenant was called, and she says she's negotiating with the landlord. Carlos called the landlord and left the voicemails. We're waiting to touch base with her. She hasn't called us back twice. So next month, if we don't get any action from people, I'm gonna actually try to set it down for a hearing. So if we would take no action this month, as I said, August was a tough month to get a hold of people. We thought this person was being evicted and we were gonna have it dismissed, but the eviction was withdrawn for non-payment. So it still makes sense to keep it on our docket and give it one more month, and then we'll see what happens there. If we don't get any action, I'll ask the next time to set it down for a hearing.
I'll make a motion for
move
no
no action.
action.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Nope. Okay, no action on 4924.
I realize these are hanging around a little bit. We will get rid of these in the fall, though.
Okay.
1851-24, 53-55 Woodward Avenue, Apartment C. The landlord wants to increase the rent from $885 a month to $985 a month. Carlos had a hard time getting a hold of the property manager, and he had a hard time getting a hold of the tenant as well. Carlos and I have already set up a time. We're going to call both of the people either tomorrow or Friday or by Tuesday of next week to see what's going on. We had a few questions about what the story was with the rent on these properties, whether it was a fixed income building or not. We weren't given enough information to know. So I would ask you to take no action this month. It's a relatively new file, came in mid-July, and it's really just the beginning of September. So this is one of the baby ones. So I ask you to take no action this month.
Motion
I
for no
move no
action.
action on 1851-24.
Give it to Fran again. Can I get a second?
Oh, second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, no action on that one.
The next one is 1852-24, 100 Seaview Avenue, Unit 1I. The landlord wants to increase the rent from $33 $3,050 a month to $3,500 a month. Very active negotiations on this one. A lot, Carlos was away. I think I was on the telephone with people every other day. A lot of details in this one. This one's a baby too. So I was asking to take no action on it. I think I'm closing in on something. So if you take no action this month.
Motion for no action.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, no action on this one.
The last
Hey.
one, the most recent one, 1853-24, 66 Wilton Avenue, apartment 1. Landlord wants to go from $2,150 a month to $2,400 a month. We reached out to both sides. We spoke to everybody. Everybody became agreeable very quickly. They entered into a new rent agreement and they withdrew the complaint. So I recommend we close the case. Yay! So
I
Motion.
move,
I'll
I move
second.
1853-27 to close.
I've got Fran with the motion, Sonia with the second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Yay, we closed the case. All right, next item on the agenda is our new cases, review, discussion, and motions on new cases. Turn it
okay,
back
the
to
next
you,
one is
Ms. Bell.
1854-24, 15 West Main Street, apartment D101. The landlord wants to increase the rent from $2,200 a month to $2,800 a month. Complaint just came in, the file's been opened. We've spoken to the landlord, clearly fits the parameters. We recommend that you hear the case. And of course, when you close one out, you got to add a new one to the list. So this one makes sense to add to the list. I recommend you hear the case.
Motion to hear the case.
Motion from Sonia. Do we have a second?
I second.
Second from Lenise. Thank you, Lenise. Any discussion? I have a question. Have we had one from 15 West Main Street before? I feel like that's a familiar address. Okay,
Yes, we have.
Thank
I
you.
think so.
all right, all in favor of hearing this case?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstention? Okay. Then
Thank you.
that
Thank you
motion
very
passes
much.
too. We'll be adding that one to the queue.
Yeah.
All right, next item on the agenda is, I believe, old business. Is there any old business to discuss? No. All right. Does anyone have any new business to discuss as part of the agenda tonight? Hearing none, I will take a
Wait,
Oh.
wait.
Yeah, I'm jumping too fast. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just need a clarification. I came in the middle of discussion about Commissioner Guest and his daughter. And you were gonna get in touch with him. I don't understand what happened. And what are
Commissioner Guest texted Carlos a couple of weeks ago to let him know that Commissioner Guest's daughter had unfortunately passed away and unexpectedly passed away. And so he had reached out and apparently wanted to talk to Carlos and maybe to me. So I said, yeah, if he gets back in touch. We haven't heard from him since, but if he gets back in touch, we definitely would like to talk to him. And obviously we share our deepest sympathies and condolences with him and with his family.
Did we
It's
send,
not
did
been like an easy
we send
circumstance.
anything in writing to him that we feel that way?
No, we did not.
We should.
I think we're a little negligent in that because
Yeah.
when one of us suffers a loss, even though he hasn't been on that long, we still need as a body to send some kind of sympathy note in writing to him.
We will.
Thank you. Now I move to adjourn.
Second.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time tonight.
All
Have a
right,
good-
good
Be
night.
well.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
the-
All be well.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Good night,
Bye now.
everyone.
Good night, everyone.